Hello, friends. This is Sarah Amafu here, and you are watching the WOW Facebook Forum, the Words of Wisdom Facebook Forum. I'm so glad you're here joining the discussion. Well, today I'm going to talk about the husband material. I think it's a very interesting topic. The husband material. The first time I said it on the page, one girl was she just made a comment and she was just laughing her heart out, just like the husband material, the husband material. So yeah, the husband material. So if you're a young lady watching me, I want you to kindly share this video to another young lady. You might be saving somebody's life. If you're a young guy watching this, I believe it's going to help you to assess yourself whether you are a husband material. And why am I doing this video? Why are we talking about this today? Um, so you hear a lot of men who talk about women and analyze them, whether they are wife materials, whether they are marriage materials. I believe you've heard of these things before. Some men will say, oh, she's not a wife material, she's not a marriage material, and they have their own criteria. She has to be hardworking, she has to know how to cook. They give all these things. It's good. I'm hoping that one day I will talk about the wife material, but today I want to focus on the husband material. On what basis do you choose a man to marry? Does the man qualify to be a husband? Does he qualify to be your husband? On what basis are you saying yes to him? On what basis are you getting married to him? Is it because of his six packs? Is it because he's a handsome man? Is it because he's a rich guy? At a point in my life, I love handsome guys, yes, and I thank God for blessing me with a handsome guy. But it got to a point in my life I realized that it's not all about being a handsome guy. It's not all about being a rich guy. It's not all about being, a failing guy, a guy who knows what's up. It's not all about that. Marriage goes beyond all these things. So these things I've put together is based on my own experience. By the grace of God, I've been married for about, I'm getting to 6 years, and I thank God for that. So I've gotten some experience from that. These things I've put together is also from people that I have seen, like married couples, people have spoken to, the experiences people have shared with me. So after sitting down, brainstorming and praying about it, I believe that these things will help us to identify who is capable of being a husband and of being your husband. Yeah? Okay. So the first thing I have here is that a man, before a man will be capable or can be your husband, that man should be somebody who loves you. I can't overemphasize that. Love is the first thing. And when I talk about love here, I'm not talking about the fact that the person calls you and tells you I love you, or the person is always telling you, texting you, I love you. No, we are talking about sacrificial love, the kind of love that Jesus talks about, the kind of love that Paul says that men should love their wives as Jesus loved the church. What did Jesus do for the church? He sacrificed himself for the church. I'm talking about a kind of love that is willing to sacrifice themselves for you. Not necessarily to go and kill themselves, no. But somebody who is willing to stand for you, somebody who can defend you no matter what, somebody who is proud of you, who doesn't shy away from you, who want to show you to the whole world. Talking about somebody who loves you like their own. See, when you are sick, they are sick. When you are unhappy, they're unhappy. This is the kind of love I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody who doesn't go about blaming you. I'm not talking about a kind of love that is always accusing you, making you feel less than a human being, making you feel less than what you are meant to be. We're women, we were made to be loved. That is how we're made. We're made to be cherished. We were made to be catered for, to be nurtured, to be tended. So if a guy is claiming to love you, or if you are deciding on marrying somebody, please ask yourself, does this person love me? Is this person willing to sacrifice for me? Is this person, like, does he see me as a part of him? That is why the last time I posted that if a man doesn't cherish you as much as he cherishes his car or his any of his properties, he's not worth your love. So that is the first one. Somebody who dearly loves you. I've heard ladies who say that, oh, I have a guy who loves me and all that, but I'm not in love with him. I don't. I would say that, please, when it comes to this situation, please be careful before you turn the person down, because it's hard to come about, like it's hard to find such men who genuinely loves you, who is willing to do everything for you. But as I always say, you should be in love with the person too. You should like the person at least. So if this is a person, no matter how much they love you, you still don't like them, you don't enjoy their presence and all that, I won't force you to go ahead, but I will say that be careful and pray about it, because love is a treasure, and you need somebody who would love you this much with everything that they have, not because of what they will get, not because of their own selfish ambition, but just because they love you and they are ready to do anything for you. This is a man that you can consider to marry. The next one is a man who is responsible and reasonable. Responsible and reasonable. Okay, let me explain this. Let's take some aspect of life. Is he responsible when it comes to work? What attitude does he have towards his work? Is he a lazy guy? Because we know so many men who are lazy. Seriously, they when it comes to work, they want somebody to force them to go to work. Okay, their attitude towards work is even poor, and even they are not productive at work. If you have a boyfriend like this who is unproductive at work, whose attitude towards work is like a disciple, please, and you want to marry somebody like that, you ought to be careful. He has to be a responsible guy who will be able to take responsibility for you when they marry you, and for your family. Responsibility towards home. How responsible is that man in his own house, even towards his family, his parents, his siblings? Not that you go to the house, maybe the person has locked himself up the whole day. They won't help at home, they won't do anything. Okay, they are just independent, and they are their own gods in the house. They hardly even talk to their parents, like total irresponsibility. Yet you are just going up, I found a man, I found a man, I'm in love with him. But this guy is not responsible. You think he will change? He will marry you and you'll be suffering alone, doing everything. He doesn't care. That is who he is. That is who he has trained himself to be. You knew all this before you married him. But for some reason, most ladies will say, oh, I hope he will change. He will change. If he is irresponsible in his own house, that is who he will be when he marries you. Comes to church, is he how, what is his attitude towards church? If he is a religious guy, if he's a Christian, is he the type who will go to church on like December? Or is it the type who will go to church doing nothing? Like he feels no responsibility towards anything around him. Please, you don't need such a person. And I also said there has to be reasonable. I think it will go to the next point that I'll talk about. But now we're just focusing on being responsible. Now let's talk about the workplace. I just want to give you a hint. You can't marry somebody that you don't even know the work they do, or you don't even know the workplace. I've been talking to some ladies, they've dated somebody for 2 years, 3 years, yet they don't even know the kind of work the person does. They don't know their workplace, neither have they spoken to any of their colleagues at work. Please, before you go to the altar and say I do, or even vouch that I'm going to marry this person or that person, at least know their work. Go there, familiarize yourself with his bosses, his colleagues. If this person tells you, don't come here, I don't want this person to see you, then you know they're hiding something from you. They have to be responsible. And once I talked about colleagues, I want to say something here. Please, when you are dating somebody, I can tell you for a fact that at least 3 out of 5 things people say about that person is true. 3 out of 5 things that people say about that person, it's true. Sometimes you hear people say, oh, love is blind. I don't think love is blind. No. If you are in love with that person, be ready to listen to what others are saying about him. I'm going to chip in this thing because it just came up and I think it's necessary. When I was in the university, I had a serious crush on one guy. I don't know. I don't know what came over me. I just like this guy so much, you know, that kind of infatuation. And for some reason, I felt this is not right. Why am I all over this guy? Like, why? I never told him. But deep inside my heart, I knew that, oh, maybe I'm having a crush on this guy. But this guy, there was not even one good report about him. Everybody was like, hey, Sarah, this guy is like this guy is like this guy is like that. And I felt that, no, things are not right. What if I had just assumed, oh, I have a crush, he's a nice guy, blah, 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 blah. I'm telling you, 3 out of 5 things people say about the person is true. So please take your time and analyze. Why are they saying what they're saying? And how true is it? For all you know, they are telling you the truth. So open your eyes and listen. The third one I'm talking about is maturity. The person must be a matured person. In the university, I always told my girlfriend, my good friend, I told her that I don't like dating small boys. And she's like, you, look at you. As tiny as you are, you don't like small boys. I'm like, no, when I talk about small boys, I'm not talking about age. I'm talking about people who are not matured, right? You want to date somebody or you want to marry somebody who is matured. They are matured in their reasoning. Somebody who is a visionary, somebody who looks into the future. Like you don't want to marry somebody who is always picking up unnecessary quarrels with you. You know, immature people are people who are just concerned about necessary things. They pick your phone, they see a phone call, and they are angry at you. They start accusing you. And why are you talking to this person? So insecure. Okay, I called you, didn't pick, and now it's a fight. Today he's not talking to you. He wants you to go and beg him. These behaviors are so childish. You don't want to marry somebody like that. No matter how much you love the person, if they are depicting these childish behaviors, they're not ready to be a husband. You marry such a person, you come back late from work and you have to answer 1,000 questions. They see you in the market talking to a friend or even hugging somebody and you have to come and write thesis. Please, you want to marry a matured person. A husband material is somebody who is matured. They avoid unnecessary quarrels. They don't pick up things that are not necessary. They don't pick up unnecessary fights. Fighting you here and there, chasing you here and there. You don't need such a person. You need such a person who will give you the room to be yourself. Somebody who is going to trust you and believe you. Somebody who is going to assess you and look at you and think of you as a matured person who is able to make good decisions, not somebody who will be hunting you all over. If they are not matured, you don't want to marry them. They have to be matured. Their reasoning, their IQ must go high before you say yes to that person. Please, it's very, very important, my dear ladies. Very, very important. This world is too stressful for you to go and marry somebody who will stress you out. For you to go and marry somebody who will tell you don't do makeup because when you do makeup, you're going to look so beautiful. Guys are going to worry you. Please, you don't want to stress yourself. Some women are married and instead of looking glorious, they are looking worse because the kind of stress they are going through in their marriage, you don't want to know about it. And these people show these behaviors when they were dating you. But maybe you thought, when we marry, he will change. Or he's just doing that because he loves me so much. I'll tell you this. A friend of mine was dating somebody who was outside. And this person was always questioning her. And why is that when I called you didn't pick? And where did you go? And I was like, seriously, why is he doing that? You should even tell him that when you go out, people are chasing you and then let him know that you are not just a nobody sitting here waiting for him. You are waiting for him because you love him and you trust him, not because you are afraid of him. I'm saying this to my dear ladies. Marry somebody who is matured, whose IQ is high. Please, I can't say it enough. The third one I want to talk about, which is so dear to my heart, is integrity. Please, A husband material, somebody who qualifies to be a husband is somebody who is a man of integrity. Integrity here, I'm talking about a honest person. Honesty, you need a man. You don't need a man who be telling you lies here and there. Hey, every day they have different lies. And because you are in love with them, he hides things for me. He doesn't tell me the truth, but I love him. I love him. I want him to be the father of my children. A man who is not full of integrity, you don't need such a man in your life. What is integrity? Integrity, as I said, an honest man, open-minded person, faithful person. That is a man of integrity. They are men of their words. When they call you that I am coming, they are coming. When they say I'm not coming, I'm not coming. If they say you are the one I'm going to live with the rest of my life, they mean it. If they say I love you, they mean it. Not men who will say this to you today, tomorrow they are saying this. They lie to you today, the next day they are saying that. I'll give you an example of a lady who shared this with me. This guy is apparently seeing another lady, but would always come. The lady has heard stories, even seen text message. Anytime she asks him, he's like, no, it's not true. It's not true. She's my business partner and blah, blah, and blah, blah. And this guy, after impregnating this girl, convinces her so much that she should abort the baby. She agrees, aborted the baby. The day the lady did abortion, the guy even brought the medicine. Immediately the lady took the pill. He left. The lady heard of him after 2 weeks. Okay, it took the intervention of friends to take this lady to the hospital for her to be saved. And when she was telling me, you could see she was crying. She said, Auntie, I regret for doing this. And this guy never called me, never texted me for 2 weeks. I could have just died like that. And after 2 weeks, lo and behold, the guy came back. Oh, I'm sorry. I lost my phone and blah, blah. They always tell you stories. You don't want a man like this, please. This is the same thing they will do when you marry them. They go to work, they never come back early. They won't tell you what happened. They keep hiding things from you. You always have to find out things yourself. You don't want to marry somebody like that. You need a man of integrity, a man of his words. Somebody you can vouch that if he said this, he's doing it. If he said he's awake, he's awake. If he said he's asleep, he's asleep. A man of integrity. You don't want lies. You don't want somebody who will hide things from you. Most importantly, you want a faithful person. Faithfulness, marriage is based on faithfulness. If the man is not faithful to you, even when he's dating you, do you think he's going to be faithful to you when he marries you? Seriously, no. He is not going to be faithful to you. If you catch your boyfriend cheating on you, unless he gives you more than enough reasons, unless maybe he tells you he was dragged, or unless he genuinely comes to you and repents, and that will be the last time he ever did that. Until then, maybe you caught him first time, second time, third time, yet you say you are going to marry him. Please save your life. Please. There's a long journey ahead of you, and you don't want somebody who will be telling you lies. They are hiding their bank details from you. They are hiding their finances from you. They are hiding even the name of their company. They have 3 phones. All the password you don't even know. He can't even share his password. He can't share any important information with you. You don't need such a person in your life, please. There are a tall list. I don't want to go through all that. I've given you 4 basic ones. The man must be somebody who genuinely loves you, who is willing to sacrifice themselves for you, who loves you like themselves, who sees you as a part of them. 2, they have to be responsible in everything. Responsible at home, responsible at work, responsible in their neighborhood, responsible person. They have to be matured in their reasoning. Maturity, as I said, not picking up unnecessary fights with you. And 4th, they have to be men of integrity. They have to be men of integrity. Faithful men. These are husband materials. The last thing, and also very, very important to add, is their faith. Their faith. And this is for my Christian sisters. My Christian sisters, please. There are so many fake people out there. You know, when I was on campus Legon, one guy was like, so what can I do for you to love me? What can I do for you to accept me? Do you need me to be reading the Bible always? Do you want me to be going to Sabbath field and be praying? Do you want to see me going to church every day? And I told him that no. When I see my husband, I would know. I was looking for a genuine man of God. It's all about the person can pray 30 hours or the person can fast 30 days and 30 nights. My dear sisters, please, it's not about the anointing on their head. When they sing, angels descend. When they sing, people shake. It's not about it. Because when you marry them, they're not going to sing for you. They are not going to be in the worship mood every day. They're not going to lay hands on you every day in your house. They are going to live with you as real men. You are going to see their real life. You need a genuine man of God, a genuine person who loves God, who sees God as part of them, who loves God. Like, God is part of their identity. Jesus is more like their big brother. This is the man you want. And one advice I'll give, please, it is so dangerous to marry a man who doesn't share the same faith with you. It's so dangerous. You want to marry a man who will worship God with you. See, when I came to love God, I love to speak in tongues. I love to pray. And for some reason, some of the guys I dated, they don't even know how to pray. And it was so difficult for me to pray around them, let alone to speak in tongues or even to sing worship songs and all that. And then I just tell myself, how can I marry this person that I can't even pray around or can't even play my gospel songs around? You want to marry somebody who would take the Bible and study with you, somebody who would encourage you and say, let's take this thing to the Lord in prayer. Please, God loves you so much that he can give you his own representative. That was my prayer. God, give me your own representative. Give me a man after your own heart, because he knows the heart of man. The Bible says that the heart of a man or the king is in the hands of God, and he turns it however he wants it. If your husband's heart, as a child of God, if your husband's heart is not for the king, how can he even turn it? God can do all things, right? But it's safer and it's less stressful marrying somebody of the same faith. They have to be genuine. They have to be who they say they are. They don't have to be pretending before you. When they come to you, they start speaking in tongues, they start quoting scriptures and all that. No, relax. From their conversation, they say that by their fruit you shall know them. Is he patient? Is he patient? Is he holy? Is he genuine? Does he speak the truth in fear? Or does he just brush over it? I knew somebody who tell you that, oh, what is it? I can fornicate. I still know God. And you call yourself a man of God. You tell me that fornication there's nothing wrong with fornication. And sister, you are listening to such a brother talking like this. Yes, you are saying that you have found a man of God you want to marry. Please, let's be careful. God wants you to have good marriages. God desires to have happy homes. God desires that we have good homes so that we can train and raise our children in the fear of the Lord. Want to raise children, generation that know God, generation of men who will stand by their wives no matter what. We don't want men who will say that you are growing old, you have wrinkles, and they will leave you for a younger woman. We don't want men who will be chasing all sorts of women and come and even contaminate you. You don't want that kind of life. Please, let your marriage be pleasing unto the Lord. Let it be said of you that after 5 years, 6 years, 10 years of marriage, you look more glorious than you were before. And this is the will of God for you. I want to end here. Today's discussion was on the husband material. If you're already married and you don't see these virtues in your husband, I would encourage you to pray. God is able to do all things. He's able to make him a responsible man, a reasonable man, a matured man, a loving man, a faithful man. He's able to do. If you are not yet married, please assess the person you are with right now. If he doesn't go, they don't have to be 100% in all these things, but at least they should have it as their basic thing. They should at least meet up to some level. They don't have to be all perfect, but at least they should have all these things. Maybe you're dating somebody, he dearly loves you, but he is not faithful. There's a question mark. Maybe he is so responsible, but he doesn't love you like himself. But he's not matured. There's a question mark. Maybe he's a genuine man of God, but he doesn't love you. He's not even faithful. He's not a man of integrity, and he's not even responsible. So please, you want to weigh them. Do they have all these things? Which of them do they have more? At least, do they have a basics? I believe that if we put all these things into practice, the Lord will help us with good husband. So that you will not join those ladies who go out there and say, oh, I regret for marrying my husband. Oh, marriage is a burden. Marriage is this. No, marriage is a blessing. And if you choose right, you will enjoy your marriage. This is my desire for you, that you will choose right, that you enjoy your marriage, that you would want to live with your husband for the rest of your life. And if you're a young man, I hope this has blessed you to even analyze yourself. Am I a responsible guy? Am I matured in my thinking? Am I a man of integrity? Thank you once again for making time to watch this video. If it has blessed you, please kindly share for somebody, because you might be saving them from making the most dangerous decision in their life. Thank you once again. My name is Sarah, and this is the Words of Wisdom Facebook Forum. Stay blessed. Leave a comment, leave a question, whatever you want to do. Thank you and bye.